They knew the path down the rigid slope too well. The path winded around sharp rocks that were edged like knives. The ground was a beige color, and the sky a murky grey. They walked this path many times, always alone, and always at this time of the cycle. They wore a poncho over a black jacket, but their face was expressionless. If they even had expressions, they didn't know or care. To them, displaying emotions through their face could be deadly. Besides, they were always alone for the most part. There was no one around for miles. They reached the bottom eventually and saw an endless forest of dead trees that curved at the edges, indicating a path that they must travel. They started to walk. It was a very uniform shaped path that guided them as they walked, and they walked for something that seemed like hours following this makeshift path, wondering when they'd reach a crossroads or see a landmark of some description. They always wondered about their people, whether they were doing fine. It had been a long time since they had seen them. Over the poncho was a black backpack that zipped up tight. They readjusted the straps as they walked. The load of the backpack, well, trying to make sure they could carry it at least. They got to the crossroads, and a bird sat on one of the branches. They looked at the bird, whose feathers were a lush bright red and the beak a brownish black. The bird flew down and inspected them. Clearly never seen them before along this path, it asked, "Why do you journey?" They thought for a moment before answering. "I'm not entirely sure anymore." He paused for a second. I just don't know any other way, I guess." The bird chirped, a nice sound, before flying up to his side. It says, "So you are lost?" "Oh, surprisingly, I know my way." "That is unlike many of your kind." They chuckled. "I guess so. But how many of us have you properly met?" "You are the only one," the bird replied. They nodded before asking, "Why sit here today? 4 days in the cycle." The bird thinks for a second before replying, "Because the abyss grows closer. I may not see another year stick before that arrives." They smile slightly, even if their face doesn't express it. Those sadly don't exist anymore. The bird looks at them for a second, realizing that they had dissuaded in this crossroads for no reason at all. They'd just seen another ordinary being. They chirp one final time and fly towards the mountain path. Thank you for watching the Tales of Shortcide Part 1, written and narrated by Greg Beasley. From today to August 31st, with only August 24th off, there will be more parts to this story. So in total 30? Oh god, that's a lot of writing. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Wacko!